안녕하세요. 정각이라서 저희 오늘 진행 예정이 되어 있는 브룩스 웨비나 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 이 웨비나는 일단 녹화가 되고 있는 점을 저희 미리 알려드리고요. 제가 확인해보니까 일단 저희 평소에 이제 그 웨비나 들으시는 분들과 새로운 분들이 계시는 것 같아서 혹시 몰라서 제가 짧게 몇 가지 공지사항 알려드립니다. 이 웨비나 같은 경우는 실제 이제 미국에 계신 입학처장과 이제 실시간으로 되는 이제 웨비나이기 때문에 여러 가지 테크 관련된 이제 이슈가 생길 수 있음을 저희가 미리 알려드리고, 그거에 대해서는 그런 마음으로 봐주실 거 제가 양해를 부탁을 드리고요. 그리고 보시다시피 현재 지금 참여자분들께서는 이제 마이크와 카메라가 비활성화되어 있습니다. 저희가 조금 원활한 진행을 위해서 이렇게 설정을 해놨고요. 혹시 이제 브룩스쿨에 대해서 궁금하신 점 있으시다면은 추후 이제 저희가 웨비나 이제 후반부에 이제 공유가 될 브룩스 이제 연락처 혹은 저희를 통해서 문의사항 전달해 주시면 저희가 또 전달해 드릴 예정이고요. 오늘의 통역은 오늘도 제가 이제 담당할 예정입니다. 제가 통변할 게 아니라 필요하고 중요한 내용들만 제가 함축을 해서 통역을 해드릴 예정인데 저도 사람인지라 저도 분명 실수가 있을 수 있고 저도 어느 정도 버퍼링이 있을 수 있을 것 같아서 제가 미리 말씀을 드리고요. 저희 그러면은 신속하게 저희 한번 시작할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. Janelle, when you're ready, could you kindly turn on your camera and mic and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me, spending some time getting to know a little bit more about Brooks School. My name is Janelle Reese, and I am the Associate Director of Admissions and Financial Aid here. I have been at Brooks I'm entering my 23rd year. I've never worked anywhere else. And so this place is obviously more than a job to me. It's very special. I'm raising my family here. I have three children, one of whom is enrolled currently, will be a 10th grader at Brooks. And my husband also coaches the boys varsity ice hockey team here. And in addition to working in the admission office, I am an advisor. I'm a dorm parent. I've taught English. I've coached a number of different sports at the varsity and junior varsity and thirds level. So I've really done a lot of different types of things here. And I love my job in admissions because I get to talk to people about Brooks. So this right here is a picture of what we call Main Street. And hopefully you'll all have a chance to visit our beautiful campus. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that as our presentation moves along. But this right here is a picture like I said, what we call Main Street. And pretty much everything is centrally located right on Main Street. So all of our classes take place in one main academic building. And then all of our dorms, our dining hall, our Center for the Arts, are all located right along this one main road. So you're going to hear me talk about our mission statement probably more than once during this webinar because I do think our mission statement, which is to provide the most meaningful education experience of our students' lives, is really important. It obviously guides everything that we do. And when I'm interviewing kids, I'm often thinking or asking them, where will you find your meaning here? And the reason why I think it is such a special mission statement is because it's unique to everybody. Obviously, I personally found great meaning here as a student. I met many adults and mentors who changed my life and ultimately guided what I wanted to do with my career, which is how I ended up at Brooks. But for each student, it's going to be different and unique. So this is a general, though, you can kind of see the aerial view of our campus. We have 270 acres. We're located right on a lake in a town called North Andover, which is about 45 minutes north of Boston. It's a suburb, so even though I talked about Main Street, we really are more isolated of a campus. But it's not so isolated that you can't get to Boston easily, that you can't get to, we're 10 minutes away from a movie theater, from a mall, from great restaurants and food. So it really is an excellent location. And you can see that we have about 350 students, and our population has 19 states and 16 different countries represented as well. So, as I said before, our location I think is ideal, especially from families that may be coming from a distance, because you do have easy access to Boston and it has a major international airport. We are predominantly a boarding community here. 70% of our students do live here, and 30% are day students. And when you really break that number down, with only 350 students, it's about 300, 250 are boarders, so predominantly a boarding community, and it is a very diverse boarding community as well. So, a brief history of Brooks. We were founded in 1926, which means we are approaching our centennial year. We were founded by the headmaster at Groton, who thought there should be a school similar to Groton in a different location. And so he was able to procure the land. We were originally a dairy farm, and George Russell donated the land to start this new school. So we do share a lot of the same roots and heritages and traditions that Groton does. Our school is named for Phillips Brooks, who was the rector of Boston's Trinity Church. And so we do have that chapel that you see right there is literally and figuratively in the middle of our campus. It's a really important community gathering space for us. We have chapel twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays as an entire school community. And another interesting thing to note about our school is that in our entire school's history, we've only had four heads of school. And John Packard, who is our current head of school, is that fourth head of school. So it's been an incredibly stable leadership that we've had here over our 100-year history. So again, if you, I hope that you're able to come visit us, and you'll see that as we move towards our centennial celebration, we've done an incredible job of maintaining that small New England boarding school feel while upgrading our facilities and bringing them into this century. But you'll see that we really do have a deep connection to tradition while we continue to evolve. So, in addition to our mission statement to provide the most meaningful educational experience of our students' lives, we do have core values that underpin everything that we do here. And you'll see those written on the screen: empathy, creativity, confidence, engagement, integrity, and passion. And then, of all of these values, empathy and engagement are considered our preeminent ones. We really feel that if we can help develop and promote students that are empathetic and engaged, that is the foundation of a really strong community. And that is what our school is. It's really important to us. That's what we're built on, is a strong community. And so every year we select one of these values to focus on. This past year, we focused on integrity. And so in chapel, there were, whether it was faculty speakers or student speakers or outside speakers, they would all coalesce around that theme of integrity. We have a Wilder speaking competition as well, and the theme of that was integrity. So I'm not sure what our upcoming year's theme will be, but these values are literally painted on the walls, inside the walls of our school building, and they're also on banners around campus. They're very important to us. So our campus and facilities, we really have, again, as our campus has evolved, we've really tried to stay true to those roots of making this place feel like a second home for our students. And so we do have that beautiful campus that is a little bit secluded, a little bit protected, but we also have incredible state-of-the-art facilities. We have a new $28 million art building that opened about 5 years ago, a modern science center, a new admission space, and our newest building is a boathouse right on Lake Cochicoic. And we will be this fall renovating our library and turning that into more of a learning's commons. We have 10 dormitories on campus, and all of them, like I said, they're pretty centrally located right on Main Street. The largest one is about 40 students, and the smallest one is 23. So again, that focus on creating intimate, family-like communities and atmospheres within our dorms. Obviously, academics and being a college preparatory school are at the heart of also of everything that we do. And we want to make sure that our students are very well prepared for the next places that they're off to, and that they're ready to achieve academic success at the college level and beyond. And so we do have a really comprehensive curriculum. We have 161 classes. We have different levels, honors levels, regular levels, and 19 advanced placement courses. We also do attend school 6 days a week. So we have a half day of class on Wednesday, and then we do have a half day of class on Saturday as well. And so that does allow us to break up the academic week a little bit more, and give our kids a little more structure on the weekends. We have small class sizes, an average of about 11 students, and a 5-to-1 student to teacher ratio. And we have a wonderful college counseling office with 3 full-time college counselors who start working with their students, learning about them, getting to know them right away, and really starting in the 10th grade year. And we also have a learning center, and that is really for anybody who might need any type of learning support, whether that's extra help, or if you need help with organization, or you need subject-specific extra help. You can always ask your teachers. Obviously, that's the first step, but we also have a really comprehensive learning center as well. And so, again, we work really hard to build a class schedule for our students that is challenging but also attainable. We emphasize balance at Brooks. So we want you to feel like you're working hard. We want you to feel like you're stretching yourself, but we want to make sure that that is in balance with all of the other things that you're going to have the opportunity to do here. Every school has what they call their signature programs, or the things that make them a little bit different from the other schools. And so I did want to spend a few minutes highlighting ours. The first one on this slide is called Students on the Forefront. It is a summer internship program for students that are they're at the end of their junior year, heading into their senior year. And they began primarily as internships around the sciences, and even more specifically around in the medical field. And so you can see a picture here of one of our students who had the opportunity to intern at Mass General Hospital doing a surgical rotation there, and got to go on the rounds with the surgeon and see what day-to-day life is like being a surgeon, observe surgeries, check in on the patients. And so we do have several internships with Boston area hospitals. But then in addition to that, we have expanded the program. And so now there are opportunities within the business with, I'm sorry, yes, politics, financial services, environmental studies, and we're always looking to expand the program. So they're great opportunities. I had a girl in my dorm last year who was able to, she was able to do one of these internships. She was doing medical research on a heart issue, amyloidosis. I'm not going to pronounce that right, um, but she, at the end of that, she did such a wonderful job that her supervisor said, "You can come back here and work whenever you want." And she was able to get a wonderful recommendation for college from him as well. So they really are unique opportunities. And our next signature program is our exchange program. And we have had these exchanges since the 1980s. So many of these are schools that we have long traditions of sending our students to these schools, and in turn having students come from these schools. They are true exchanges. So currently we exchange with Botswana, Hungary, Morocco, Peru, and Scotland. We are always, though, growing them. We, in the past, have also exchanged with a school in Paris, and we have exchanged with a school in Kenya and South Africa. And so we're always kind of looking to expand this. But they're really cool opportunities. You either go and you stay with a host family, or you go and you stay in a dorm. In Scotland, for example, you go to Glen Almond College and you live in a dorm there. And there, you really become immersed in the regular life of a high school student in these countries. You're not on a vacation or you're going to school every day, you're attending classes, you're embedded in the life. In that country. And we also, like I said, get students from these countries that further add to our diversity here. So these are great programs. And our final signature program is our winter term. So, unlike students on the forefront, where you do have to apply and be accepted, and exchange, where you do have to apply and be accepted to the program, everybody does winter term. So, winter term is a program that runs the month of January. For 3 weeks, all of our students are only enrolled in one course. And there is an entirely separate course catalog for these classes. There's over 30 different winter term classes that you can choose from. And for that month, you're only enrolled in one class. And so it could be something like learning to code. It could be something like what you see in the picture here. This is called the Great Outdoors. And these students spend a lot of time in the outdoors. They go ice climbing, they go cross country skiing, they do a variety of things outdoors. It could be something I taught a class called we do a media class where we teach the kids about social media and we have out and marketing and advertising. And we have outside speakers come and talk to the kids and we go visit. We went and visited Converse and met with their advertising department. So it's meant to be a highly experiential time when you can really slow down and focus on your depth of learning rather than the breadth of learning and rushing through something. But taking one class and studying one subject in a great amount of depth is what winter term is all about. So, community central to everything that we do here. And as I talked about before, that emphasis on balance is also central to everything that we do here. And so, being such a small school, really getting to know our students well, we can create that balance for them. And so when we're talking about building a class schedule, you'll meet with your advisor, you'll talk to your teachers, you'll talk to your college counselor to create that schedule, that balanced academic schedule. We have a lot of community time spent together, whether that is on Mondays and Thursdays, being in chapel as an entire community. We have school meetings once a week where we're together again as a community. Twice a week, we have something called sit-down lunches, where you sit with different groups of students and teachers, so you get to meet different people. And your advisory. Every student is assigned an advisor, and we meet weekly as a group as well. And those become little mini communities within our larger community. And that's a great time to spend, and you really do get to know those kids in your advisory very well. Also, as I mentioned before, we do have classes on Saturday. And so that means our big fun night is Saturday night, and there's always a variety of activities going on. You do have the opportunity to go off campus if you'd like. So you can go to the mall, the movies, restaurants. Sometimes we'll offer trips into Boston. Um, but most choose to stay on campus. And we always have fun things going on campus, whether that's an open house at the head of school's house, or a dance, or a hypnotist coming. There are always a fun variety of on-campus activities as well. I wanted to take a minute to highlight also at our athletics and then next our arts programs. So athletics, we do have a strong athletic program here. We compete in the Independent School League, which is against other schools within this area. We have won a number of New England and league championships. Our most recent one was our boys basketball team, who just won the New England championship this past winter, which was really exciting. But we have levels for everybody. We obviously, our varsity teams are very competitive and we want them to be, but we also have junior varsity and thirds levels. The highlight of my day is when I'm coaching my girls' third soccer team, and we have many kids on the team who have never even kicked a soccer ball before, but they come out, they have fun, they try hard, and that's what it's really all about at that level. So we do offer the opportunity for you to try new things, or if you come to us with an existing talent, being able to take that talent to the next level. And our arts as well are spectacular. We have that brand new building that I mentioned that's just an incredible space for our entire community. And you can see in this photo here, this is our 2D studio full of natural light. So we have, in addition to the building, a spectacular curriculum with a great group of teachers. And so we do have levels again for everybody. So all of our ninth graders take something called Arts Exploratory, where they're exposed to all the different arts that we offer in that space. And then beyond that, you are required to take a few more art classes. And we offer classes for beginners all the way up to advanced placement. Our performing arts get to take advantage of our group practice spaces and individual practice spaces. And we also have access to excellent private music instructors in addition to our own faculty. And so you can continue to take private lessons here if you wish. And you can continue to we have several different ensembles and rock bands that you can be a part of as well, in addition to your continued individual practice. So that's the end of my presentation. My contact information is listed here on the screen. So if you do have any further questions or want more information about Brooks, we highly encourage you go to our website. There's so much information on there, but really the most important thing is visiting these schools. I'm sure everybody will tell you that. It's impossible for me to capture just how beautiful our campus is, how it really does feel like a community, how it really feels like home until you come and visit. And so definitely it's the best way. Meet the students, go on a tour, talk to people. That's how you truly know if a school is a good fit for you.
Thank you so much, Janelle. I know it's actually getting pretty late there. It's like 9:30, probably hitting like my bedtime. But once again, thank you so much for sparing your time to introduce us about Brooks School and what it offers. And we'd love to stay in touch with you. Until then, I
Absolutely.
hope you have a great summer.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.